Welcome, everyone. For those of you who haven't yet watched the Litha Customs and Lore module, which is just fine, my name is Erin Anderson, and I will be guiding you through a brief summary of different components of the Litha altar, this midsummer altar, and the correspondences of the summer solstice sabbat. So the power of the sun at the solstice is protective, healing, empowering, revitalizing, and inspiring. And all of these are qualities that help to facilitate resilience. So the solstice adds a powerful charge to any spell, to all crystals, and to all herbs. And divination on this night of midsummer is traditional. But whether or not you are doing any form of divining or magic, I think you'll love the energies that are native, if you will, to this sabbat for adding to your altar and, by extension, to your magic making or your sense of your own magic. In the Customs and Lore module, I talked about the twice yearly battle between the Oak King, who rules the light, and our more outward, solar, active aspects, and the Holly King, who rules the darkness and our more inward, lunar, and receptive aspects. And at the summer solstice, the Oak King is defeated by the Holly King, and that victory of darkness over light sets us in our cycle once again on the journey toward winter. So this is a pretty interesting time to be working magic. The Oak King has reached the height of his power, and yet the Holly King is, in a lot of ways, our future. And this juxtaposition is what gives us so much to work with on our altar at this time of year. That we can choose to emphasize the strength of the light at this time and the light in ourselves, with vibrant crimsons, golds, fiery oranges on our altar in the form of drapings or candles or flowers, or in the form of crystals such as sunstone and citrine and carnelian. We can also collect acorns and incorporate sunflowers and daisies and St. John's wort flowers and carnations. We can really celebrate that culmination of what we have built toward so far this year, knowing that we still have half an entire year to continue manifesting our desires. I love the suggestion from Patty Widgington to set an outdoor altar. And to do that, you might consider painting a piece of furniture, like a table or a cabinet, or a chair in really bright colors to kind of reflect that solar theme. And then decorate your outdoor altar with citronella lamps and twinkly lights in different colors. You can really bring out that solar energy even when it gets dark in the evening. And we can connect with the Oak King, with that light king, by celebrating his strength, his fortitude, his gift of the light, and his warming and healing service to the land. We can celebrate that with bonfires, or even candles, and gaze into the flames and count our abundant blessings. And we can connect to or work with Juno, the goddess of women at the thresholds of their lives, or those transitions of their lives, or with Hestia, the goddess of hearth and home. And Apollo, the sun god, is available to us in his glory and power, as is Lu, the harvest god, who will be making a more prominent appearance in August. If you are inclined to do chakra work, the colors red-orange and orange are connected to the sacral area, which is associated with creativity and ideas, kind of abundant ideas and visions. And using colors in orange tones is a great way on your altar to revitalize your passion for art, for music, for other creative ideas. And that can also be, you can also incorporate that color into your wardrobe or your accessories to bring it kind of up and out of the altar so you can take it with you. Yellow is tied to the solar plexus, still sticking with this theme of chakra work, and helps us in our need to develop healthy self-esteem. So if you are doing Litha rituals or working to improve the way that you kind of regard yourself, the way that you feel about yourself, and give yourself a boost of confidence, yellow is wonderful to incorporate into your altar and into your daily routines. So that's kind of on the light side of things. That's the Oak King side of things. But we can also choose to honor or to welcome back the Holly King as an augur of inward exploration and richness, and focus on his gift of sacred, subtle sight and perception. So we can pay tribute to those aspects of ourselves that we may have neglected in our exuberance and our attention to the light over the past few weeks as that energy has been building. And if we choose this path of working with the Holly King, we might decide to place dark blue or black candles on our altar. We might incorporate signs and symbols of the moon and of water as a counterbalance to the sun's radiance. The sun is entering the water sign Cancer now, and that makes water a natural element to honor at this time of year. I invite you to use the practice that's coming up in the alignment meditation and reflection module as a way of starting to discern maybe how you want to work with the powerful energy of this sabbat. Because our focus in the science and magic curriculum right now is stress resilience. It's really worth taking the time to investigate how the attention to the light, it bolsters your sense of embodiment, and it's worth exploring the way that that a nod to the shadow aspects of self might offer the healing that we need. And you may find after doing the meditation in that module that maybe you choose to incorporate both sides of the coin. So the bright and bold, those fiery colors of summer right alongside the calming and cooling and deep colors of winter and the Holly King. And you may choose to swap themes out from day to day or at different times of day. So really, I invite you to use your altar as a kind of visual or outward expression of either what's going on within you, if you know that, or as that counterbalance. So letting maybe your altar become a complement rather than a mirror to your current state. Like I said, a lot of options here. And a few more correspondences to consider. And I'll just kind of run through this list. So animals that are sacred to this time of year: butterflies, bees, wrens, robins, and snakes. And working symbols of or images of these animals onto your altar is one way to bring their energy in to work with. In terms of foods, all of those wonderful early summer fruits and vegetables, also ale and mead, honey cakes, red wine, strawberries, sun tea, herbal teas. For herbs and plants, you can look to mugwort, chamomile, rose, honeysuckle, lily, oak and lavender, ivy, yarrow, fern, elder, and wild thyme. Incense-wise, sage, cedar, and frankincense are wonderful on your summer solstice altar, as well as lemon, myrrh, pine, rose, and lavender. Trees to maybe spend some time around, or if you've found that leaves have fallen around these trees, you can bring them into your altar. Beech, elder, holly, laurel, linden, and oak. And in terms of the types of magic and spells that you can be working, healing, growth spells, empowerment spells, and love magic are all really potent at this time. We'll be doing a grounding spell that features a protective and grounding amulet that we'll create together, and that's in the spell module. So I hope this summary gives you at least a good starting point for how you might be wanting to work with the energies of this sabbat and how you can support and facilitate your natural resilience. I encourage you to hop over to Meg's yoga class for some movements that are designed to promote the rebalancing efforts of this time as well. And then please do check out the alignment, meditation, and grounding spell modules as well. Thank you for tuning in. Blessed be.